Special teams play a crucial role in the game of hockey, where a good power play and penalty kill can steal teams' games and make a good team great, while a bad power play and penalty kill can cost teams games and sink them in the standings. In this video, we're going to take a look at who has the best and worst special teams right now in the NHL so far in the 2021-2022 season. Let's go. Hey everybody, so today I want to take a look at special teams in the NHL, power play and penalty kill. We all know how important a good power play and good penalty kill can be, and how much good or not good special teams can affect the outcome of games. Now, right now in the NHL, there really isn't one single statistic that quantifies special teams as a whole. Power play and penalty kill are very separate things, and some teams are good at both, some teams are good at neither, and some teams are good at one or the other. So what I've done over the past couple of years is kind of made up this fake statistic that I use called special teams score, where I combine a team's power play percentage and their penalty kill percentage to give them one total number that kind of gives you an idea of how their overall special teams balance out. And based on that special team score, I've gone through and found the 5 best teams in the NHL and 5 worst teams in the NHL when it comes to overall special teams. So this list is not my opinion. This is totally based on that one statistic that I use, and we might as well get into it here. You guys know me. I like to start with the best, so we're going to start with the best teams right now as far as special teams in the 2021-2022 season. Coming in at number 5, we have the Carolina Hurricanes. They are 22.5% on the power play and 88.7% on the penalty kill this year for a total special team score of 111.2. That is very, very good. Anything over 110 is very, very good in the NHL. And obviously Carolina is there, really on the back of their incredibly good penalty kill. Now, they do have a very solid power play at 22.5%, but they're the only team on the list with a power play under 25%. It's really the penalty kill for the Hurricanes that is making them this good at special teams. And obviously, over almost 89% on the PK is spectacular. At number 4, we have the Anaheim Ducks. Their power play is 26.7%, and their penalty kill is 85.5% for a total special team score of 112.2. Obviously, they are very, very good on both sides of the coins when it comes to power play and penalty kill. And special teams is a huge reason why the Ducks have been as good as they have been this year and have been one of the biggest surprises in the league. Their power plays over 25%, their penalty kills over 85%. Just great numbers on both sides of special teams, and a big reason why the Ducks have been so successful. At number 3, we have the St. Louis Blues, whose power play is almost 30% at 29.6 this year, and their penalty kill is a very solid 82.9% for a total special team score of 112.5. Obviously, St. Louis has had a solid year, and their special teams are both really, really good. They're getting it done in those situations this year. Its biggest surprise, I think, for me is that their power play is at almost 30%. We have not seen the Blues have that level of power play recently, so that is a huge boost for them to get that number as high as it is. At number 2, we have the Toronto Maple Leafs. Toronto is over 30% on the power play this year at 30.6%, and their penalty kill a very solid 82.1%. Total special team score of 112.7. Now, obviously, they are more carried by their power play than penalty kill. And again, over 30% on the power play is a massive, massive number at the NHL level, and about 10% higher than where Toronto was at last year. Their power play last season was right around 20%, which still isn't terrible, but to have it all the way up at 30% so far this season, that is a huge upgrade to the Maple Leafs and a big reason why they've won as many games as they have won. But coming in at number 1, the best special teams currently in the NHL so far this season belongs to the Edmonton Oilers. And again, this is largely on the back of a lethal power play, which is operating at 31.9% this year. Also a pretty solid penalty kill at 83% on the PK. A total special team score of 114.9, which is absolutely spectacular. That is an off-the-charts total special teams score. And obviously, this team is largely reliant on their special teams this year. And they would not be where they are without being this good, particularly on the power play. I mean, they kind of rode the back of their power play for a lot of the early portion of this season. And their 5-on-5 play, quite frankly, needs to get better because they are completely being carried by their special teams play right now. And it's not surprising because their special teams is absolutely out of this world. I mean, in the couple years that I've been looking at this and doing this, I don't think I've seen anybody up, at almost 115 like this for a total score. So, absolutely outstanding special teams for the Oilers this year. However, that means that their 5-on-5 play definitely needs to get better. Otherwise, they should be a first-place team based on the special teams. They're not, largely, I think, because of the 5-on-5 play. But those are statistically right now the 5 best teams at their overall special teams in the NHL: Carolina, Anaheim, St. Louis, Toronto, and Edmonton. Now let's take a look at the other side of things and look at the teams that aren't very good at special teams. Coming in at number 5, we have the Detroit Red Wings. And this is interesting because the Detroit Red Wings are in a playoff spot right now despite not being very good at special teams, which shows that they have really been carried by their 5-on-5 play. Almost the exact opposite of the Edmonton Oilers, who have been carried by their special teams play. Detroit has not had very good special teams this year, but they're still in a playoff spot as of right now. They're only 15.7% on the power play and only 76.5% on the penalty kill for a combined special team score of 92.2. Basically, the cutoff for where I think a good special team score is right at 100. If you're at 100 or above, you're in good shape. If you're below 100, special teams is not a strong suit for your team and something that definitely needs to improve. Detroit's down at 92.2. It is not a strong suit for this team, but they're finding ways to win in spite of it. Coming in at number 4, we have the Winnipeg Jets. Now, Winnipeg's power play actually isn't that bad. They're 20.4% on the power play this year, which is pretty solid. If you're at 20% on the power play, that's pretty solid. However, they're getting dragged down by a very bad penalty kill. 70.6% on the PK this season, which leads to a total special team score of 91.0. So their penalty kill is really, really hurting them this year because it is not good. It is one of the worst PKs in the league. And that is definitely an area that the Jets need to get better at if they're going to make the playoffs this year. If not, that could be something that really sinks their season if they can't kill off penalties and can't get the job done when it comes to that as far as special teams goes. Another team here at number 3, similar situation, the Vancouver Canucks. Not a bad power play at 19.6%. I mean, it's certainly not top of the league or anything like that, but it's still pretty solid. It's not a bad power play. However, their penalty kill this year has been absolutely atrocious. 67% on the penalty kill. I believe, if I remember correctly, they are the only team right now in the NHL with a penalty kill lower than 70%. So, really, really bad PK for the Canucks, and that is absolutely sinking their overall special team score down to 86.6, which is brutally bad. If you're below 90 on special team score, that is really, really bad. And Vancouver is there largely because of how awful their penalty kill has been. At number 2, we have the Montreal Canadiens. No real surprise here given how bad their season has gone. They are just 12.5% on the power play and only 71.6% on the penalty kill for a total special team score of 84.1. And yeah, this is one of those teams that I mentioned earlier that are good at neither. Yeah, Montreal is not good at either power play or penalty kill this year. Their special teams in general have been horrible. And another team just like that are the league worst Arizona Coyotes, who are the worst team in the NHL this year and also the worst team as far as total special teams score. 12.5% on the power play and 70.1% on the penalty kill for a total special team score of 82.6, which is absolutely putrid. Yeah, Arizona's not good at either. There's a reason they've only won, 6 games this year. Their special teams is absolutely terrible, and they really don't do anything well. So these are the worst teams overall as far as special teams are concerned so far this season. You have the Red Wings, the Jets, the Canucks, the Canadiens, and the Coyotes. If you look at this list, 4 of these 5 teams are not in a playoff spot right now, the Detroit Red Wings being the only one on this list that is in a playoff spot. And if we go back to the best special teams, every single one of them, all 5 teams on the best special teams list are in playoff spots right now. So there's kind of a chicken and an egg to that, as in, are they good because their special teams are good, or are their special teams good because they're good teams? I'm sure there's probably a little bit of both in there. But overall, it's just interesting that teams that are generally good at special teams are good teams in the standings and teams in the playoffs, and teams that are really bad at special teams are generally not good teams and are not in the playoffs. Obviously, Detroit is the exception here with them being in a playoff spot right now. But again, it's kind of like the chicken and the egg, and which one came first? Like, are they good on special teams because they're a good team, or are their special teams getting them into a playoff spot? Honestly, in the case of the Edmonton Oilers, I think you could make the case that their special teams are almost single-handedly getting them into a playoff spot. But again, that's kind of the debate surrounding this. But overall, I just thought that'd be fun to take a look at, especially with the league on pause right now and these numbers not changing, at least for the next few days. Kind of a checkpoint in the season where you can see where certain teams are at. And that's something that I like to do every year, is just look at overall special teams and see how teams are doing on the power play and penalty kill, and which teams are doing really well and which teams are really struggling in that regard. And then kind of taking a look and seeing, like, how does that correlate to being a playoff level team or not a playoff level team in the standings. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thought that'd be a fun thing to look at. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description. If you'd like to further support the channel, our memberships, merchandise store, and donation links are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys soon.